trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected to his...
He must do it. After failing to show up for court and other issues related to his behavior, Tia's son, King Harris, was placed under custody. Not even in the lengthy, tumultuous history of public drama involving the Harris family have we witnessed such a harsh and startling turn in a celebrity narrative. As King Harris lies in intensive care tonight, wounded, bleeding, and battling for his life following what sources are describing as a vicious jail attack, the whole globe is on edge, anticipating developments. The information that is trickling out from inside the Georgia jail walls sounds like it belongs in a gangland movie. Reports state that King was attacked in his block and left clinging to consciousness. An emergency lockdown was imposed as guards frantically tried to get him away as mayhem broke out all around them. According to sources, he was taken to the jail hospital under armed escort, his body hardly moving and his face bloated and damaged. Multiple prisoners were hurt as a full-fledged riot broke out, forcing staff to struggle to restore order. And to those who believe this was only a chance altercation or a typical initiation gone awry, reconsider. This wasn't spontaneous, according to the rumors. This was a deliberate attack. Some are already characterizing the purported inmate turn against King as a brutal, premeditated ambush. Some others think it was retaliation for his ongoing displays of privilege and riches. Others believe it was a warning shot, a sobering reminder that while you're in prison, celebrity is nothing, and that being weak makes you vulnerable.
Yeah, so him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So,
The internet blew up once the news got out. Reactions erupted on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, while some people criticized him, claiming King had finally encountered reality and was unable to cope with it. Others showed sincere astonishment and sorrow, as rumors circulate that this might not be the last time King is attacked. The Harris family is reportedly in full panic mode and frantically looking for answers, like wildfire. Social media feeds were inundated with real-time comments, speculative thoughts, and, of course, a flurry of conspiracy theories. The initial flurry of unverified rumors was directly related to ongoing disputes with other prisoners. According to a source close to the Harris circle, King was singled out for humiliation weeks prior, not by accident, but on purpose. According to another insider connected to prison personnel, King was already viewed as a pariah within those walls because of his family's notoriety as well as his own obnoxious attempts to conduct himself like he owned the place. According to inmates who talked anonymously, they had cautioned him to guard his back because he was too soft, too loud, and too arrogant for that culture. The threats were now more than simply idle rhetoric. They devolved into violent behavior. The Harris family responded by going into full-fledged emergency mode. According to reports, T hasn't slept since the assault. He has been frantically phoning legislators, lawyers, and anybody else who may have any kind of influence over the Georgia Department of Corrections. According to an Atlanta insider, Tip has already promised to write any check, make any commitments, or even sign non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, in order to save King's life before it's too late. The self-proclaimed monarch of the South being brought to his knees seems almost unreal. Yet that is precisely what is taking place in the background. According to reports, Tiny has sequestered herself in a different war room where she is organizing media supporters, attorneys, and publicists. Additionally, the couple's well-known togetherness is beginning to erode behind closed doors. According to sources, T and Tiny's disagreements have gotten out of control, with each of them accusing the other of being responsible for their son's ordeal. Family. Friends aren't even certain now if T and Tiny are battling for King's salvation or only against one another. All the while, their son's life is in jeopardy. The family that previously prided itself on being unbreakable is now collapsing under the strain of the crisis.
I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family Hustle. Right. And it does come with some, it's some adversity. Mm-hmm. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your bed.
Yeah. But here's where things get even murkier. Whispers are spreading fast that this attack wasn't about some petty disrespect or random beef. Rumor has it there was a failed contraband deal inside the facility, and King may have either refused to play ball or, worse, tried to finesse the wrong crew. In a place where loyalty is currency, that kind of move can get you marked. So what really happened? Was this just a heated disagreement that spiraled out of control? Or was King Harris deliberately targeted by inmates who felt betrayed? Sources tied to the investigation claim there's evidence he was set up. According to them, King was lured to a specific corner of the prison where at least 3 men jumped him, all while surveillance cameras mysteriously went dark. The Department of Corrections denies any glitch, but insiders aren't buying it. As one of T.I.'s former road managers put it, it's Georgia. Cameras break when they need to break. That's all you need to know. Meanwhile, King's condition is still unstable, and family tensions are boiling over publicly. We've seen the Harris clan close ranks before, but never like this. Fans haven't forgotten the explosive headlock moment at that Falcons game, when T.I. put King in a chokehold live on Instagram after yet another bitter argument about his upbringing. "You are embarrassing yourself and your family," Tip told him, as security scrambled and Tiny tried to calm things down. At the time, many thought that was King's rock bottom, but this prison ambush makes it clear things can go even lower. Now, with King lying on a hospital bed and the Harris family's dirty laundry blowing across the internet like wildfire, it's becoming clear that infamous Falcons game fight was just the dress rehearsal for something far uglier. The stakes are no longer about family pride, they're about survival.
I graduated. That's the only good thing they posted of me going viral. I'm not on the media's good side. I don't know why, but it ain't.
However, this is where things become even more enigmatic. There are quickly growing rumors that this incident wasn't motivated by random animosity or small-time disrespect. According to rumors, there was a botched contraband transaction within the building, and King could have tried to woo the wrong crew in a setting where allegiance is valued highly. You might get tagged for this type of behavior. What actually transpired then? Was this merely a heated argument that got out of hand? Or did prisoners who felt deceived specifically attack King Harris? According to investigation-related sources, there is proof that he was set up. They claim that King was enticed to a certain area of the jail where he was, jumped by at least 3 attackers while the security cameras inexplicably went black. Insiders don't believe the Department of Corrections when they deny any issue. It's Georgia, as one of T.I.'s old road managers stated. Cameras malfunction when they should. All you need to know is that King's health is still erratic, and family conflicts are erupting in the open. The Harris clan have previously shown tight ties, but never to this extent. The violent headlock event at the Falcons game, where T.I. choked King live on Instagram following yet another acrimonious disagreement over his childhood, is still remembered by fans as Tiny attempted to settle things down and security rushed in. Tip informed him, "You are embarrassing yourself and your family." Many believed that to be King's lowest point at the time. But this jail ambush shows that things may fall even worse, now that King is on a hospital bed and the Harris family's filthy clothes are spreading like wildfire online. It's obvious that the famed Falcons game battle was only a prelude to something far worse. Family pride is no longer the main concern. They have to do with surviving.
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.
My degree arrived. That was the only good thing they said about my becoming viral. I don't have a lot of media support. It's not And I don't know why the environment behind the jail walls was never safe for King. But today, according to insiders, it is obviously harmful. Numerous accounts suggest that he was constantly ridiculed for his parents' well-known problems, which continue to haunt T, Tiny, and King today in the shape of the shadow of those allegations of human trafficking. It didn't help that King was accused of starting the fire himself. He allegedly tried to boast on social media while he was detained, disparaging opponents and advancing his reputation as Atlanta's next big thing. But the older prisoners were not thrilled. We were informed, rather bluntly, by one ex-inmate. "We're not here for the reality show. We don't care who your father is. If you talk rudely or don't pay what's required, you will be dealt with." The internal rule of law is that the expense is now on King. T appears to be using every available card. Sources claim that while he has threatened to make explosive allegations about the facility's situation public, his staff is secretly submitting items that are positive to friendly media outlets. The goal: place the responsibility squarely on a corrupt system rather than King. A classic strategy straight out of the celebrity crisis playbook. But is it too late to assist him? Everyone who observes this circumstance is troubled by that question. And behind all the hasty damage management, one unavoidable idea lingers like smoke. What if this is exactly what happens when you give your son the impression that he is untouchable and reality hits him harder than anybody could have imagined?
So the dynamics here are interesting, but I can't judge how the parenting is gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this: a lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this in the public.
Adding fuel to the flames, the rumors from 3 different veterans of the business that King was an even greater target inside jail because of the Harris family's troubled legal past are adding petrol to the flames. His name has undoubtedly surfaced in relation to those persistent trafficking accusations that started years ago and haven't gone away. The Harris family is said to have been at the center of the complex web of improper behavior that the accusers have alluded to. The former buddy who started the controversy, Sabrina Peterson, even threatened to release bombshell documents that would allegedly drag King, Tiny, and T.I. into even more legal quagmires. Even if the authorities haven't filed charges, that taint will always be in the public eye. Another rumor emerges while the Harris legal team puts forth extra effort to put an end to one scandal. We've heard rumors of a covert transaction gone awry. Word circulated that King either reneged on a payment or snitched it, and his name was purportedly scrawled on a contraband ledger. Is it the genuine thing or simply jail rumors? According to insiders, there is always a blood price for crossing the wrong person inside those walls. Add to that King's background in reality TV, his affluent upbringing, and the Harris family's propensity for stirring up scandal. And it's no surprise that he became the focal point of every resentment in the neighborhood.
And you can, kind of woo-saw yourself outside of the public opinion.
The relationship between T and Tiny, meanwhile, is starting to resemble a powder keg with a broken fuse. They are reportedly having a heated argument behind closed doors on how to deal with King's decline. According to reports, Tiny is advocating for a more gentle, protective strategy and placing the blame on the system and external factors. However, T.I. is reportedly becoming more aggressive every day and arguing that their boy deserves punishment rather than justifications. T has gone into overdrive because they are certain that their kid can only be saved by force and powerful connections. However, according to a person close to the pair, this is the hardest crisis they have ever encountered as a marriage. Even worse than the public humiliation caused by the viral Falcons game headlock. Worse than the elimination of reality TV. And worse than the messy litigation in Los Angeles. This headline isn't your typical one. Their family's legacy is staked out with both sides lashing out and the rest of the Harris clan trapped in the bomb zone. The emotional toll is astounding. The stakes couldn't be higher when you zoom out. King, the Harris dynasty's spoiled wildcard, must suddenly face a harsh new reality. The question gets louder with each new headline and each frantic call from his father. Will there be a redemption arc at the end of this? Or are we seeing the complete collapse of one of the most well-known families in hip-hop? Further investigation reveals that every indication suggests the same terrifying scenario. The most horrifying information about this: ambush and what actually transpires with a well-known figure within the concrete jungle is still unknown. You understand what I mean when I say that you may sort of seesaw yourself outside of the prevailing opinion we observe in near slow motion as the meticulously constructed facade of celebrity. Luxury is torn away by the terrible reality of jail. All the wealth, all the contacts, and even a strong last name behind those barriers. None of it provides safety. The code used in prison is different, and like so many others before him, King Harris is having to learn the rules the hard way. Those laws are unmercifully executed and inscribed in blood. They have also always been transparent. Loyalty is what gains respect. Celebrity or signatures cannot buy it. The only headline that matters, in a world where yesterday's chart position is meaningless, is survival. Rather than being less exposed, high-profile prisoners are frequently more, and King Harris is being hammered harder than anyone could have predicted by that reality. In a society where respect, quiet, and alliances are essential for survival, his fame could have ultimately been his undoing. Was the actual weapon used against King his notoriety? As we attempt to piece together the aftermath of an attack that left the Harris family frightened and staring at dangers they never saw coming, it is the terrifying question that keeps everyone on edge. I
really admire his dedication and commitment to the craft, because, I kind of told him, what was wrong about it. Making mistakes. I ain't had no daddy who would pull up and get on my ass anytime. Things I did, you can't get away with.
I know that.
Man, damn. Yeah, that's I ain't see that one coming. You know what I mean? Nah, I didn't.
Underlined that King as a person wasn't the only aspect of the problem. It has to do with what he stood for when he entered. He carried the Harris name, the baggage of reality TV, the fame, and the notorious reputation of being T.I.'s craziest son to guys who had already served decades. That serves as a catalyst for animosity, envy, and score-settling. Off the record, some correctional officers have acknowledged that prisoners like King are frequently used as negotiating chips in power conflicts between opposing factions. He turned into a pawn in another person's scheme. They see an outsider with headlines, and they want to send a message to him, to the other inmates, and to the world watching. Disclosed. A source who had previously done time in Georgia's system incorporate the rumors of a failed illegal transaction and the ongoing whirl of his family's problems, and it's obvious that King was swimming with sharks right away. But violence and fists aren't the only aspects of this. Psychological warfare is as lethal on the inside. Every comment glance and rumor has the potential to be a warning or the start of a new ambush. According to reports, King was already a target before he ever entered a cage because of his affluent upbringing. He was despised by other prisoners for what they saw to be a privileged existence. The ostentatious music videos, the fancy schools, and the availability of attorneys that most people could only imagine. His attempts to be tough, play gangster, or stand on business offended other people. He spent more time in reality TV studios than on genuine street corners. As everyone knew in the back of their minds, attorneys are putting in extra hours and rushing to maintain control over the story behind the scenes. As for the next step, the family itself is sharply split, according to other sources. Some family members are warning against making more noise since they believe it would only make King's condition worse. Some maintain that being silent equates to giving up, contending that the Harris brand cannot afford to seem weak in the face of such a major disaster. The remaining Harris children are navigating a minefield during this time, drawn into conjecture over anything from tumultuous paternity rumors to resurgent family conflicts. The distinction between private grief and public disgrace is becoming increasingly blurred every hour. Every fresh leak, whether it is pushed out by a fictitious family friend or muttered by a jail officer, just fuels the flames. Furthermore, it is impossible to overlook the broader ramifications. As the pieces begin to fit together, King's near-death experience reveals the harsh reality. The legal system is not swayed by celebrities, whether you're famous or not. If you can't adjust to its harsh politics, it will eat you up and spit you out. The only true currency inside those walls is raw power, regardless of hip-hop royalty status, media hype, or family wealth. What started out as a dispute about respect has turned into a struggle for existence for King Harris as well as the Harris family as a whole. And even while T is working behind the scenes in an attempt to outmaneuver a system that has already taken so many lives, the fallout from this jail ambush could only be getting started. King is struggling to stay alive. Additionally, it becomes clearer with each piece of news that this isn't a single attack. It is the first part of a far darker story. So, there's still one question. Is King Harris a victim of his family's notoriety? Or is this upheaval being caused by something far deeper? Could secrets and rivalries so combustible that no amount of damage control could stop them be revealed by this jail attack? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. The turmoil surrounding the Harris family is never far behind, so don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Stay alert, remain inquisitive, and keep your eyes wide open till the next time. You never know which tale will go to the next extreme.